Welcome back. We've all been there. The line is long at the grocery store. You get a little antsy. You texted your friend about happy hour a while ago, and you're staring at the phone waiting for the response. It happens. We all get a little impatient.
For sure. But a new study reveals a lot about patience in everyday life. So this will be pretty interesting. We have Dr. Dominic Guess, and he is a University of North Florida psychology professor, and he conducted the study. And welcome to First Coast Living.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate having you here. So this is a pretty interesting study, and I mean, everybody in the studio, we're all talking about, we have little patience,
Everyone
I
deals
think.
with it. Everyone deals with it.
Everybody does. So tell us why you decided to start this study to begin with.
And as you said, I mean, I myself realize sometimes waiting in line that I get impatient, and I thought, well, that's worth looking into. And I looked at previous research and saw that patience is related to subjective well-being, feeling good, but also to health. And I thought, well, I want to know more about it. And then I also realized when I travel to other countries that people deal differently with impatience and patience. Sometimes, for example, when I've been to Latin America, I realize, oh, they don't take the things so seriously. They don't mind waiting in a line. And I'm from Germany originally. And when things don't progress, I get impatient. And that's why I thought it might be interesting to look into how cultures deal with that.
Yeah, and I like that you tied it to that there are studies showing that it ties to people who are more patient are healthier. Is that kind of the correlation they're making?
Yes, yes.
And what, you know, as you did this study, you know, being from Germany, you're hoping that maybe your culture, you know, isn't the most impatient, but which cultures did you find were the most impatient? And
in fact, I thought the Germans would be more impatient, and we did the study in France, Germany, and Romania, because some previous studies studied the pace of life, how fast do people walk in the streets, and the Germans had a fast pace of life, and the French a little medium pace of life, and the Romanians a very slow pace of life. So we thought perhaps we find there the same findings related to patience. But surprisingly, the Germans were not the most impatient ones in 3 situations that we studied.
The French, right?
In many situations, we didn't find differences.
Okay.
We studied people waiting in a grocery store in a line, and the 2 students tried to drop coins intentionally. In Europe, mostly you still pay
to
with
delay
coins.
The process.
Yes, and I admire the students for going through that because people reacted with angry looks in the line. And
that would be me. That would be me in line behind, so I'm the impatient one. So what about, Dr. Guest, did you find a difference in gender or age?
We thought that women would be more patient, but we didn't find that. And we thought that...
Really?
Yeah, and we were surprised. But then we thought perhaps women have a longer to-do list. I mean,
we do. Yes, that's true. We do.
We hope that men share the duties in the household and the duties with the children, but it is still so that women do more of the task load. And perhaps they have a longer list, and perhaps one reason why we didn't find the gender differences.
And what about age?
Age, of course, we couldn't control who is waiting in line. Sometimes we had older people, sometimes we had younger people. But again, here, we expected older people to be more patient and the younger ones not so patient. But again, we didn't find these differences. Perhaps because younger people try to behave politely in a line among older people.
Okay.
And of course, we can only note what we see. We see that they make an angry face, or that they say, you hear that, or hear that they make gestures, see that. But of course, some people also regulate their impatience and don't show it so much.
I try to. How about you?
I do, and
I
think traveling, I think you hit on something there. Traveling, I think, really helps anybody with patience because you learn, when we get in our own little town, everything is set to a schedule. When you travel, you have to be open to some flexibility. Well, we got 1 second, a few seconds left here. What do you hope people take away from the research?
And that's one finding. In one situation, the Germans showed really more angry facial expressions compared to the French and the Romanians. So when you travel to another country, don't interpret the German angry face to you, it's something that perhaps they are allowed to express more often in public than people in other countries.
That's good stuff. Thanks, Dr. Guest. Thanks for being here. Good information. Learn to be a little bit more patient when traveling and when not.
Always. And as you get a little further south, it goes into island time. Everybody's relaxed.
That sounds
All right.
good.